So we all know the importance of videos in marketing these days, but what about the style? What kind of style video do you do? That's what we're going to be talking about this week. If you're creating lots of videos for marketing, one of the questions probably in the back of your mind is, what style of video should I produce? Now, I'm no expert, but luckily we've got an expert with us, Daniel Steinhauer. Great to have you with us, mate.
Thanks, Rob.
Dan is my video mentor and has been for probably the last 10 years or so. He's the guy I turn to for advice, and actually for really professional videos, I get him to do them. Hot tip. So tell us about styles of video, Daniel. What should we think about for that?
Sure. Well, I think the most important thing anybody who is creating any kind of video needs to think about is the style, but it's not the style that you necessarily want to do either. It's about what is your customer actually needing, or how do you speak the language of your customer? And that comes down to color, that comes down to lighting, set design, that comes down to the clothes you wear. Do you need to wear makeup, or can you look a la natural? You know, is your forehead going to shine too much and affect people because they got bad eyesight? Things like that. It's that kind of thinking from the shoes of your customer or your viewer, and that's kind of the empathy thing, And I think that's really, really important. I think
that's interesting,
sorry.
because I do a lot of videos for sort of, I run a management consulting business, so my target audience is corporates. And so I feel I need to kind of look corporate. And just thinking back on that, it's a really good point, because a year or two back on our YouTube channel, I'd be shooting videos when we were out bushwalking at the weekends, and I'd be in hiking gear with, cows behind me. And it probably wasn't a good look, was it? Talking about corporate stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of fitting into your environment, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
it's what you want to do, but it's not really how to connect with the people.
Who's this dude in the country talking about
It
business
becomes a bit of a
strategy?
disconnect.
Yeah, get it. Okay, that's great.
Well, let's chat about set design and things like that. There's a great thing I learned many, many, many years ago, and it's called the two-gun theory. And it's basically, you get your two guns like this, right? Now, what you can do is grab one like that, grab the other one and flip it upside down, and then put it over. Now you've got a 16 by 9 approximately, 16 by 9 video screen there.
Yep.
And if you stop for a second and actually have a look around your world, okay, and you close one eye, you have a little look around, nothing else, you can't see anything else except what's inside those fingers. And the truth of that is, when you're creating a set, or whether it's a TV show or whether it's a film, the set designers are not building an entire room or an entire environment. What they're doing is they're building that right there, because it's too expensive to build the whole thing, right? So what they do is, if you can think about it that way as well, when you're at home and you need to build a set for your customers or something like that, to create some videos to connect with your customers, all you need is that much space, right? So that's where you zoom your camera into. You could have rubbish around the sides. You could have your nightie hanging off the back of the door, off to the side. But as long as it's not within that section right there, then you're absolutely laughing. And I've asked many customers, especially in the online time, like we are at the moment, running lots of online events. It's like, I really appreciate that you think that that's a great shot, but let's just turn your camera a little bit. And they turn the camera a little bit, and then there's just stuff everywhere. There was one guy who had a massive walking machine right behind his head, as soon as I shifted the camera, because I wanted better lighting. And but the truth is, we only see what's inside that little thing. And so you can create that small window of your life, and that can become the set that can actually house all of your videos. And you can create all of these videos with that one set, and it doesn't have to take up a lot of space or take up a lot of time or cost to actually build that.
That's a great tip. That's a great tip.
I mean, obviously we run in a studio, and Rob, I mean, you have your own mini studio, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working at home, obviously, but down the road in our office, I have a little green screen studio, which you helped me set up. Here in my home office, I've done exactly what you suggest. So I can alter the background here. I have little company logos that sit on that thing there, depending what video I'm shooting. I can change the wall hangings, that kind of stuff. Really to sort of suit the topic. Now, if I turn the camera around, what you would see here is a stack of 3 beds, because this is a spare bedroom. But on this side, I've actually got some professional lights. I'm using a decent microphone. So it's a little studio. Behind the camera doesn't matter. That's where all the stuff is stacked up. So,
that's exactly right.
And whenever I'm shooting something, I shoot a lot of stuff on Zoom like we're doing today. And I have to confess I'm shooting it on a webcam, but I open up the webcam and I just check the background and the framing and, is that okay?
Yeah. And it takes 20 seconds to do that, just to make sure that it is in the right kind of area and you're not missing something, because we all know about those stories of kids walking through the background or the husband walking naked in the background as the lady's on the call or something like that. So those sort of things happen all the time. But we can create a set that looks like we're actually created it specifically for our customers.
I actually have another studio in the house, which is our living room. And we live in this lovely old Victorian house.
It's beautiful.
And I do fireside chats. So I have an armchair next to the fire. I've got a complete lighting setup in there. With professional cameras, not my webcam. And it's a great little set. And just by changing the camera angle, I can have the fireside or I can have the one with the grandfather clock behind me. And I've got 4 sets in my living room just by turning stuff around.
Exactly.
So, that's a great tip.
You know what? The important things there are the lighting and the design. I mean, it's just having something that's nice and connecting with your customers and sort of makes sense to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did a webinar series in that set, I was like all these guys I was interviewing were in their offices, and there was the sort of camera up the nose thing with their laptop cameras, and I actually had my camera set way back, and his Rob, in the armchair next to the fire kind of thing. It's like, how do you do that?
You actually raise a really good point though, mate, with the up the nose thing, because that's actually one of the biggest issues that people face, or that I face coaching people through this process, is that they have their computer down low, because they usually run off a laptop or something, and they have it as low as possible so they can type on it and all the rest of it. The problem is your camera is then shooting up your nose, and then you're like this, it's like, oh, Kleenex moment, please, Kleenex. But if you can just raise it a little bit, just when you're doing the videos,
so get the camera at eye level, huh?
Exactly. You just never want to be in that position. You'll see a lot of ladies, especially, because they tend to be a little bit more precious about their photos. They'll sit there, they won't take a photo down here. They'll actually take it from up here, because number one, the lighting's better because their face is shooting up. And also because they're shooting down, you're not getting the big nose profile or anything like that. It's just a better way of
so guys,
doing
take
it.
a tip from your partner.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So just raise it a little bit, and that's a really good thing to learn.
Well, Daniel, we better not keep you any longer. Those great tips there on video style. Really, really good tips. If anyone has any questions, I would encourage them to, I'm going to offer Daniel services here, but encourage you to ask questions down below, whatever platform you're watching this on.
Please do.
And maybe, Daniel, we can include a link for where people can reach you if they want some more advice. And thank you for joining the channel again. And if you enjoy these videos, do remember to hit subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out, and they come out on a Tuesday evening, Sydney time. And don't forget to share the link with your friends, and do comment down below, ask your questions. We love to get those. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.